This is, as usual, curvy girl edition, in the meaning that I'm not looking for something crazy oversized, because I have a larger bust and, curves, and I don't really love the look on me when things are too oversized. Hi there, and welcome back. My name is Lisa, and you are watching LiseLight, a channel where I share mostly knitting, but all kinds of creative endeavors. And today I want to share with you a bundle of different patterns that I've been looking for. And while I was doing the work collecting these different patterns, I thought, well, maybe this will be inspiring for you too. It's actually a bundle where I haven't decided completely what I'm going to do, but I'm going to share my thoughts along the way. And I've been looking for something very specific because it's actually in order to use up a yarn, a combination that I have in my stash. This here is called, it's lamb's wool. It's called Uno, and it is a single spun, I think, is that what it's called? So pretty, probably, is it called probably fingering weight yarn. And what they tell you is if you knit in the round with this, it's probably going to twist. So that's not a good idea. So you need to hold it with something. And then I have this one that's called Super Kit Mohair, which is just a regular mohair. It's not the softest of all mohairs, but it's decent. It's okay. I combined these two together with a more avocado green. I'll pop in a photo to knit up a sweater, the coffee run sweater by Kika. And I love that sweater. It's just one of my favorites. And I think the sort of avocado green just gave it that pop. In my mind, to be honest, these two are a little on the boring side. They're not horrible. They're not bad. They're actually pretty good with my skin tone, I feel like. And I think it's probably a classic that I can use for a lot of stuff. So I'm specifically looking for patterns where I can put these two together and make the best out of this yarn. Together, they're going to form sort of like a DK weight. So the patterns I've been looking for are sort of lightweight. Well, you will see when I show you the patterns, but I've been looking at vests because I think I might have enough for a sweater, but I'm not completely sure. It's on the low side because I knit up a whole sweater with these two quantities. So I think I might run into a serious game of yarn chicken if I try to do something big and substantial. And that's not what I want to do. I want to do something that's kind of lightweight. I don't want to hold it with anything else in this because I think these two will be fine together. But I need to find a pattern that would be interesting enough. So I've been wondering, you could go different routes with it. So I've collected a group of patterns which could all work for this yarn combination, and there are pros and cons. And my aim today is to share my thoughts about these. And again, the strength of the knitting community is amazing. So I'm hoping that you can all pitch in and maybe help me choose, because I haven't quite made up my mind. I know kind of where I'm leaning at the moment, but I would love to hear your input and who knows, maybe you have an even better idea than what I'm looking for. So this is, as usual, curvy girl edition, in the meaning that I'm not looking for something crazy oversized. Because I have a larger bust and, curves, and I don't really love the look on me when things are too oversized. I love the feel of it. I love the look of it, but I don't love it on me anymore as much. I do have oversized sweaters. I love them. I use them a lot, but I think I've come to realize it's more flattering on me when things are not, it doesn't need to be crazy tight, but it doesn't need to be crazy oversized. That also means that I'm usually going for If it's a drop shoulder, it needs to be within reasonable limits so it doesn't get crazy oversized. And also raglans are usually fine, and also inset sleeves are usually pretty nice as well. The round yokes are not my thing usually, but there can be there are some exceptions. It seems like some designers are able to do round yokes where, first of all, the yoke doesn't get crazy deep, so you end up with these sort of bat wing type things where it's like you can't lift your arm, and or the sleeves start way too low. It's not flattering on me. Looks great on a lot of body types, but I don't love it on me. So so those are sort of my those were my sort of ground rules for collecting this pattern roundup. So hopefully you can get some inspiration as well. Again, before we go ahead, if you're not already, it would mean a lot to me if you want to subscribe. I love the community that we're creating here on YouTube. I think in a world of chaos, I think it's so nice that there's room for positivity and just creativity. I know there is still a lot of controversy about this and that. I'm not that into it. I seriously, this is my sort of safe space of just happy knitting and creativity, and I intend to try to keep it that way. So if you're fine with that, you've come to the right place. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to share my screen, and just let's see if we can make this work without it being too crazy. So let's see. I'll share the first one here, which is, oh, did I mess up the, let me just see to make sure that I have, no, this is the right order. All right. The first pattern that I want to share with you is the group. Of course, there are so many other vests that you could take a look at, but there were some specific ones that I was a little bit interested and intrigued by. And this first one is called the Vest Tai Pai by Mochi Knits. I'm not sure if I've tried any of their patterns, but I've seen, I mean, this is just beautiful. I think it's such a classic pattern. And here she has styled it with just with not anything under it, which this yarn combination, that might be pushing it a little bit. I don't know if that would be actually pleasant to wear, but it's beautiful. I mean, it seems like it's got twisted rib at the neckline. It's got a something that looks, well, it's not an I-cord. I think it's like a little double, or maybe just a knit edge that you fold over. It's just, I think it's so classic and so beautiful. It looks like something you could buy out of a really expensive brand store somewhere. And I think it could actually work with my yarn. What's keeping me back from doing this is basically the fact that it is a vest. I know this is silly when this is what I've chosen. And it is because I knit a couple of vests last year and I like them a lot. But I tend to not use them that much because the combination of a shirt and a vest over it, it's not what I use the most. So I still use it, but I don't know if I would get enough use out of a vest. And I don't think I would use this with nothing under it. Because I think I'm not sensitive, but I think this yarn might be just a tad too scratchy. But oh my goodness, this is so pretty. I'm not going to go through all the little nitty-gritty details of the gauge and all this stuff. It's all in the pattern roundup. I'm going to share that in the link in the description so you can see the whole thing. I might mention a couple of things, but in my mind, I mean, knowing the gauge, I mean, you still got to do your own test and see if you can hit the numbers, because this actually has a pretty tight gauge. It seems like 25 stitches and 34 rows with a 4mm needle and DK weight. I don't think it computes in my brain if that works. But again, that would be up to me starting to test it. So I haven't tested didn't do gauge swatches for any of the patterns you're going to see. Well, except one because I already have it. But for the rest, I don't. So you will have to do your own research on that. But oh my God, I think it's so, so pretty. So that was number one. So we'll go again and see the next pattern I have on my list is also a slipover or a vest or whatever you call it. This is a more simple kind. And I thought this was maybe a little more versatile. It's from the Knit Pearl Girl. I've knit one of her patterns, and I actually love her. I love her YouTube channel. I love her style. It's very clear patterns and whatnot. And she has this in different versions. She has it with, let's just take a look at it. It's a slipover. So she has a version with buttons down the front where she has a button band. Then she has, you can see the details. She has a stripe version and a solid color version with, it looks like it has a little saddle shoulder construction going on. And actually one of them doesn't, maybe it's only the brown version that has buttons down the front. This one doesn't, it's just a vest basically. I think it's really nice. I really like the look of it. I don't really want to go into stripes with this one because I don't feel like I have any yarn that fits it. So I'm kind of holding a little bit back on stripes, but I think actually it looks really good. I like it. And then the dark version, it's impossible to see it actually. Yeah, so it's really nice. So that's another option. But again, it has the same challenge that it's a vest. This one, if I did it with buttons down the front, maybe I would use it more open also. I don't know. I'm conflicted on that, but I think it actually looks pretty good. So let's see what that could do. All right, and then the third vest that I have, let's just take a look at that, see if I can find it. Which one was that? Oh, I think it's all messed up. I think it's this one. Yeah, I think it is. Yep, this is another vest that's also got some cables going on. It's from Cookie the Knitter. Again, I haven't tried any of her patterns. I've heard so many people raving about them, so that could be an option. It looks like it's a little more cropped and tight fitting, which I kind of like, actually. It's got the cables going on. It seems like it would be a pretty straightforward, easy knit. It's not, I mean, the cables, there's a long, how do you say it? Like the cables are sort of stretched out and fairly long. So you wouldn't have to cable all the time, and it's on the same line. It's not, sometimes it's, there's a lot going on. This seems like a fairly simple pattern that you could probably fairly easily remember. So I think even all the cables are going in the same direction even, so you don't need to remember going left or going right or whatever. It's the same thing all over. So that makes it fairly simple. I think it's pretty, and it's well fitting. I don't know if there is any stuff going on at the side. Can we see that? I'm trying to avoid to have to read all the pattern details, but it's almost like, well, maybe it's not fitted. Maybe it's just the stretchiness of the cables and the ribbing going on that makes it look more fitted that way. But I mean, if I were to do a vest, I think this is also a pretty good option. That is a possibility. But again, it's the same sort of issue I had with the other ones that I'm kind of conflicted whether a vest would be my best way to go for this particular yarn. So then I moved into a little bit of a different direction because I was like, well, if it's not it with a vest, maybe I need to go for something short sleeved, like the Maggie cardigan. I know this is a classic. You've all seen it. You all know it. Tons of people have made it, but I'm like, that is not a bad option though. because I think this type of cardigan, I could get a lot of use out of it. It's for me, it's always so difficult to imagine, and thank God there are so many project notes that you can go in and look at, because my issue is that it's so difficult to imagine what this would look like on my body type, because she has a completely different shape than I do. So let's see if we can see more examples. So it's very hard for me to imagine what this would look like. For me, if I have a more of a fitted cardigan, I would definitely need to pay attention around the button band, because the risk is, as you can probably imagine, that if you make it too tight or just a little bit fitted, actually, you might have the gaping around the buttonholes, which looks pretty silly. I saw somebody doing, which I thought was genius, where I don't know if it was with the Maggie cardigan, but where she actually knitted a cardigan kind of like this with short sleeves, but then she knitted in the round, sort of as if she was going to steek it. I think she did. She didn't steek it, but I think she did maybe a couple of like in the middle where you wanted to do the divide with the button band. She did. I can't remember what she did. I need to look it up again if I can find it. But maybe she did a little bit of a purling or something, so that you could see where you were supposed to pick up stitches. And then without cutting it, she picked up stitches for a button band, a double knitted button band. She did the button band, and then she just sewed it down. She did the buttonholes and everything, but without having it open in the front. So you get the same look where you have a button band with buttons and everything and buttonholes, but you can't open it, sort of. I hope this makes sense. I know this was a convoluted explanation. I hope you know what I mean. So you have the same look, but it can't open, so you won't get the gaping. And I think for my body type, this could actually come in really, really handy, because I wouldn't want to do this crazy oversize, and I don't think it's supposed to be oversized, but it would actually look fairly decent if you were to. And then I don't know if it would work. This it'd probably be the same if you do the ribbed button band as he has here, but you would just have to sort of do a little bit of modification just to make everything fit the way it's supposed to. But I think actually it might work and be a decent solution for that. So this is definitely an option that I've been considering back and forth. I know it's a little boring maybe, but also crazy versatile and classic. And sometimes those are the pieces that we keep pulling out of the closet. I think there's something to be said about the timeless pieces that we keep wearing again and again and again. And this could definitely be one of them. And I think in the darker color, it could work. But it is a little bit on the boring side also because of the color. If I were to choose freely, if I didn't already have yarn in stash, I would love to do this in maybe a red version, for example. That would be awesome, I think. Like just warm red would just be so beautiful. Or maybe the type of Bordeaux, the wine red color that's a lot of people have used as well. Burgundy, I think maybe it's called. That would look stunning in this particular type. Grays are not really me. I don't think it's the most flattering thing on me. But they're definitely options. So this is definitely a contender. But again, I'm not completely convinced that it's the right move for me. Then I saw a t-shirt. It's a different style, but it's Anne Wenzel. Let's just take a look. Come on. So, and this is, it's called Nice. Or Nice, probably Nice, I would think. And it's a t-shirt. It's a little more roomy maybe than I would want it to, but again, I think it would be one of the patterns where I would size down a little bit. Again, it looks fantastic on her, but I have a different body shape. I have a larger chest, and I think this could definitely be sort of one of the pieces that would just be overpowering because it gets too big. But I think there's something just relaxed and really, really cute about it. It is meant to be a striped version, but of course you always have the freedom to do whatever you like. But of course the stripes it is actually looking really good with the stripes, I feel like. Pretty simple construction. It seems like it's got does it have drop shoulders and then sort of a boat neck? Um, the thing that's holding me back is definitely that I'm a little bit afraid that it will easily get a little bit too oversized if I don't watch out. But I'm pretty sure that it would be able to size it down. I think there's something about it I really like because it's not a true boat neck, but then again, it's a little bit along those lines. I do think it looks like, I'm wondering whether she has German short rows in the back. I think it goes up pretty far in the back, which I'm not, or maybe that's the whole point, isn't it? I think there's something funny going on with the neckline. It seems like there's a lot of fabric on the back, which is a little strange because I know it didn't make sense what I was saying because of course you want it to be higher in the back, but yeah, I would be probably investigating a little further to see how it fits different people, different body types before I made a decision. So it's not on top of my list, but there was something about it that I really like. So I pulled it into this pattern roundup because I think it's a pretty piece. So so that there's that. And then staying in line with the more simple patterns, I found this one, which is called the Dolly Short Sleeve by Rosa P. And it's not a designer I know, but there was something that caught my eye because it actually looks like a very simple, straightforward, classic t-shirt type thing, which is right up my alley. I kind of really like that. It's got sort of longer, short sleeves. It's really difficult to see in these photos. Let's just see. Okay, it does. Now we can see it. It has a raglan. It looks like pretty simple, nice looking one. Just a nice shape overall on the sleeves. I think there's something about it that I really liked. Let's just see. It's the same thing with this version. She has one a rose version here. It's just a simple construction. But again, I mean, the downside of choosing this particular pattern for my yarn is that it might turn out just a tad boring. I think if I were to choose something with no pattern or structure, I might actually lean toward the cardigan option because at least you have a little bit going on with the button band in front, where for my yarn, because I'm not that crazy in love with the color scheme of these two together, might just lean a little too boring. But I thought the pattern was pretty great because I think you can definitely create a bunch of nice t-shirts with this combination, and it is a DK weight like the other ones. This one is done on a 3.5 millimeter needle, so I think it's definitely got potential that could be interesting. All right, and then I found that's again a pattern that I don't know, I haven't seen before. It's called the Pulse T by Kristen Siemel, maybe Siemel, probably. Sounds like a German name, and but it is in English, so maybe not. And this is a t-shirt that's fairly straightforward with a little bit of what would you call it? Like a little bit of a detail with a pointed edge at the collar. And then on the sides, it's got this ribbed section that goes into the ribbon, or what do you call it? Oh man, my English is failing me. You know what I mean? The rib, the rib at the bottom, it goes into that, so it sort of makes it more fitted that way without it being crazy tight. It will definitely help cinch it in at the waist. I thought the detail was kind of fun. And also because I think it probably caught me that the color is not that far away from my version. The yarn combination looks different. This almost looked cottony to me. I don't know if it is. Here's a different color version, but I thought there was something interesting about the construction that I haven't really seen before. I actually love when they have schematics like this with measures on, because then you can get an idea. But I think there's something about it that was interesting. I'm not completely in love with it, but it definitely caught my eye. So I don't know if you know it. It's got 27 projects, so it's from May this year. So I don't know how well known the pattern is, but I thought this actually looks kind of interesting. It looks like people have given it pretty good ratings from the people who have seen it. So it doesn't mean they have knitted necessarily, I guess. But I think, oh, that was a yarn. The pattern doesn't have any rating, so I don't know. I can't tell you if it's good or what it is, but I thought there's definitely something interesting going on. So that's another option. Yep. And then I started going in a completely different direction, because I started thinking, and actually it's the same thing that I'm wearing today. The rainy day tee is a pattern by Sari Nordlund. And so this is the same thing that I'm wearing. Mine is a little more roomy. I think if I were to do it again, I would size down, actually, to get it more fitted the way she has. But it was in the beginning of my journey of trying to size down a little bit on my patterns, and I was still afraid to make it too tight. But I think now I would probably size down even more than I've done. But it's pleasant to wear. I like it. It's a little boring, the beige I have on, but I think it still does the job. It fits with all the brown colors of the fall and whatnot. So I'm definitely happy about it. So, of course, this could be an option, at least the whole thought process of let's do something still kind of simple, but with a detail, with the cables going down the raglan. And I think it's just a very pretty solution to a problem there. One pattern that I'm going to add to the bundle that I don't have a photo of because I forgot to add it, but I've been eyeing it up, is Tokes Knits, I guess he's called, YouTuber. Has done, I think it's called the Suri sweater. I'll definitely add it to the bundle so you can find all the details there. She has, it's not the same thing, of course, but she has a little bit of the same idea with sort of a t-shirt. You have a longer sleeve and a shorter sleeve, and then you have the cables, but she also has some cable details at the sleeves and at the bottom of the hem. And I think that's actually another really good option that could also work for this yarn combination. So I'll be sure to add that pattern because that should go in here along with this one. But then again, it's a little boring to do the same thing again. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I kind of want to do something else. So I kept looking along those lines to see how can we find, is it possible to find some t-shirts that have a little bit of stuff going on, but are still quite lightweight, you could say. So still the DK weight. And then I found the Brady loop tee by Other Loops, and that is a pretty strong contender too. It is, again, a little bit oversized, but again, I think I would size down and create it with less positive ease than what they show here. But I think it's pretty because you've got the cable going down from a saddle shoulder going down all the way down to the end of the sleeve. And then you have the wide ribbing details going on. And I think it's very pretty. Let's just see if we can see more details. Just a simple classic. I love the way that this rib sort of goes in and merges with the other. It's just a really sleek detail that I think looks very put together and nice. So, I mean, this one is definitely interesting, and it would actually fit the bill of just a wonderful woolen t-shirt with just a little bit going on, but not so much that it overpowers the whole thing. So I'm a little bit tempted. And actually, surprisingly enough, I haven't knit anything by other loops yet, so I'm a little intrigued of trying. I've heard so many good things. So this could definitely be an option. Here it is in a different color. But again, I would need to look at the sizing and go down a bit so I don't get the big amount of positive ease on my version, because again, it's not that flattering on me. This version looks a little less oversized, so that's more along the lines I would go with. I would go even smaller, I think. But I like this a lot. Definitely interested in this version because I think it would fit the bill of yeah, a little bit going on, but not too much. I think that could work. Also along the same lines, I saw this one, which is the Shoreline Tee by Ozetta. And it's a fairly new pattern. And I was, I think I saw it only a couple of days ago, and I was definitely intrigued. It's sort of like a, I don't even know what you call it, but it is sort of with cables, but sort of kind of almost not there cables, if that makes sense. So it's very interesting how it's done. So you sort of twist it to make it appear as if you had cables, but you don't completely have cables. It just turns it into this really interesting texture. And I think that could actually be very interesting with my yarn combination, because again, it fits the bill of let's do something without overpowering it completely. Has a little bit of the same issue with the positive ease. After I've started looking for patterns that are not crazy oversized, I realize it's actually difficult to find sometimes. A lot of designers love the big slouchy positive ease pieces, which I totally understand. A lot of knitters probably love it because you kind of feel like it will fit me no matter what, as long as I make it big enough. But I'm kind of leaning the other direction because I think it's more flattering on me. But it makes it a little harder to find patterns. But I think this, again, with a little bit of work on the sizing for me, I think this could definitely be interesting. So I'm very intrigued with this version. So that could definitely be an interesting option. Let me know if you've seen this pattern and whether you've considered it. But I was definitely interested when I found it. Yep. And then I continued thinking, well, maybe it needs more detail. Maybe I shouldn't be so scared of going all in with the details on it. So I kept looking at especially Sari Nordlund's patterns, because she has so many. And I was like staying within the realm of a tee and looking at the Ballard tee, which is beautiful t-shirt with sort of these double cables. I don't know if they're called something specific, going down like 3 big ones on the front, and there's, well, actually 4 or 5 in total on her size here. I'm not crazy in love. I know this is a weird detail to be into, but I'm not crazy into this. I think the problem with cabling is sometimes when the cables stop and the sleeve starts, there's sometimes this awkward distance that just sometimes looks a little funny. And I think, I don't know how she would do it differently, but I think I almost wish that that there wasn't this wide strip before the sleeve starts, because it's, I don't know, I'm not too crazy about it. I think it becomes very noticeable in not the most flattering way, I think. So that's it looks beautiful from the back, by the way. And the cables are beautiful. So but that was just one t-shirt I was considering, thinking, that could be interesting. I think I could almost consider doing this with only 3 of the cables and then leaving out the other ones, except for the one, maybe just one on the sleeve or something. I don't know. There's I think that's probably why I really like the other versions I just showed you, where the braid goes all the way up from the neckline and all the way through a saddle construction down a sleeve, because I think it's more of a smooth transition from one from the body to the sleeve than when you have to do it this way. But I don't know. There's something about it. But then because I started thinking of changing it, I was like, well, maybe it's not the right pattern if I look at it and I have sort of too many things I want to change up a little bit. But I kept looking at it because I was sort of fascinated with the look of it. So this is definitely an option that I could maybe go with. And then I continued within the same thought process, and then I found this beauty. Again, Sari Nordlund, the Foxberry tea. So this is the round yolk that I was saying that I'm not too crazy about. But in this version, I feel like it works because it seems like she doesn't have this crazy long yolk that sort of gives her the bat wings I was talking about. It looks pretty nice and fitted. And oh my goodness, this pattern is so pretty. The only thing is, I don't know if all the details are going to drown out a little bit in my darker color. That's one thing. And then second, whether I would go completely nuts from doing all the bubbles. I have done bubbles before on knit, and it does take more time. And I'm just wondering whether it's worth it in a yarn where it's maybe less noticeable. But on the other hand, I think it's so pretty. So that could actually be fun. And I think the good part about this pattern is it's only on the yoke. Once you're done with the yoke, you're done with all the fiddling around with the pattern, and it's just pure stockinette the rest of the way. So that's actually also interesting, I think. So I was definitely intrigued by this pattern. I think it's so pretty. She has different versions. I think this is a version where it's just bigger bubbles, and then let's see, or can we see the difference? I don't know if we can. She says in the pattern that she has options for smaller. These are the smaller ones, I think. Maybe they're more, I don't know, I'm not completely sure, but she says she has options for smaller or bigger bubbles. So but I think these are definitely it's so pretty, actually. So that's definitely one of the patterns I was considering to think maybe this is the winner. Who knows? Okay, I have two left now. And again, we're staying with Sari Nordlund for the last ones. Let me just see. Yes, there's this one, which this is definitely a strong contender. It's called the Piazza Tea. It is beautiful. This actually is a nicer way of, I mean, I'm not so bothered by the transition from body to sleeve here. I think it works way better. You have the moss stitch or whatever it is, and then you have some cabling going down the sleeve and then a lot of moss stitch. I think that works really well. I think this would take a bit of concentration to do this type of knit. I think there's a lot going on. So it intimidates me just a tiny bit to get started on it because I've just realized too much heavy duty pattern just sort of, I won't say it stresses me out because I'm able to do it, but I get a little annoyed if I have to stare at a chart for a long time, which this might be in that realm, but I think it's so pretty. And I think it could look, but again, I'm a little worried whether my yarn will drown out all the details. And if you combine spending a lot of time on a pattern and then maybe you can't see all the details, that would be a shame. But I think it's very pretty. I like it a lot. So, yep. And then the last version I have is a t-shirt also by Sari Nordlund. I mean, she has so many to choose between, so why not? It's called the Diona tee, and it is this one. So it's again, it's got a lot of cabling going on the front piece, and then she's got ribbing on the side and ribbing on the sleeves, and then it's a raglan construction. So quite a lot going on with the pattern as well. It would definitely, I don't think it's a mindless knit by any means, any stretch of the imagination, because oh my goodness, it's twisting and turning and whatnot all over the place. So I think there's definitely it would take some concentration going on, but I think it's very pretty, actually. So it's also, you know, something that probably could look really cool with the yarn that I've chosen. So that's my last pattern that I have to share with you today. So my final words on the patterns is basically that I'm undecided. It kind of seems like you could go different routes with these two. I mean, you could definitely go in the simple route, and if I do that, it's probably going to be the Maggie cardigan. I think that's the one that speaks to me the most. But with the version where I well, I don't even stick it, but where I leave it closed in the middle, basically, and just make a faux button band, you could say, on top. I think that would be the option I would go with, and then make it not crazy tight, but sort of fit it to my body. Or it would be one of the tees with yeah, maybe the other loop one was just, it's speaking to me a little bit. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. I mean, I'm not going to start this right away because I have other projects that I'm sort of have a bunch of stuff going on. I'm going to share a regular podcast episode soon. But I have a couple of things going on that I feel like I should get going before I start too many new projects. So it's not next in line, but it's definitely something I want to get started because I'm dying to get a bunch of my stuff out of stash. I want to use the yarn I have. And this is definitely, it's been lying around since last year. So I could definitely see myself get this going. So let me know what you think. I would love to hear, and if you have better ideas than what I've shared with you today, please let me know. I would love to hear your suggestions because you might have even better options. But again, I don't have yarn for like a bigger, more substantial sweater, and I don't really want to hold the yarn together with something else. So it has to be something along a DK weight that's not too big, sort of. So that's why I like the options of shorter sleeves, because then I'm sure to have enough, because I don't want to have to go out and buy more yarn. That would not be ideal. So let me know what you think, and let me know if this was interesting to you, whether you could use any of my pattern suggestions for anything. Also, please subscribe if you're not already. That would mean a ton to me. And also let me know in the comments what you're working on, or whether you have the same type of sort of what can you call it, the same type of difficulty deciding what you want to do. If you have yarn in stash that you're sort of going back and forth between what to do with, let me know. Tell us about it in the comments. And let's see, I might do more roundups like this in the future because I have more yarn, believe it or not, more yarn in stash that I want to use, and I'm a little doubtful of what to use it for. So with that being said, I think I will end this video for today and just leave you with hopefully a wonderful day and happy knitting. And I hope to see you in my next video. Take care.